For those who don't know, the very few, maybe non-Brit, I don't even know. What are you famous for, James Dreyfus?
That's such a good question. Briefly, I think I'm most famous for those over-the-top camp characters that I did in Ab Fab and Gimme 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 and Thin Blue Line. And then I suppose it's Notting Hill. And then I've done a sort of lot of theatre in between, but that never seems to matter to anyone. So I think I'm most famous for that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching Gimme Gimme Gimme. I grew up obviously Notting Hill, the library person,
The library guy,
bookshop guy.
Bookshop.
The bookshop guy.
Yes, it's a bookshop guy.
Bookshop's there, isn't it? But I don't know if it's the real bookshop, is it? They call it.
No, I think it's gone. I think it's gone now. I keep getting told it's gone and then it's there, but actually it was a replica of the bookshop. I mean, we filmed it inside the bookshop and in the studio. So.
Do you still know Hugh Grant? Could you?
We still are in touch, and thank God he was in the movie because it was just me and him for 3 days, and he was immensely entertaining.
Oh,
yeah, wonderful man.
I'm told I look like a young Hugh Grant.
Well, you could do worse. Frankly,
handsome man, Hugh Grant.
He's a very handsome man.
I'll take that. That's why I tell everyone.
Take it, Andrew. Take it.
So, in many respects, you were one of the faces that spearheaded the push for individual liberty. I think, as an actor who sometimes played, as you say, overtly camp characters and gay roles, other times more subtle characters. Where has this all gone wrong in the last few years? Where has it gone so far that one has to now conform to something?
Oh, crikey. This will give you some perspective. When I did Gimme Gimme Gimme, I was when I did Thin Blue Line, and it was very clear that my character was straight and in love with another police officer, a female police officer, still called in the press the gay one. When I did Gimme Gimme Gimme, I was told, it's so over the top and camp and everything, because it was an over the top comedy. Now, if I played it sort of normal and think it wouldn't have worked. I had to match Kathy in what Kath was doing. But the one positive thing about it was that it was the first time I'd been able to play someone who was gay, and that wasn't an issue. It wasn't the main thing. He was absolutely happy with it. And also he wasn't a particularly likable character. Well, the gay press did not like that one bit. And I was hauled over the coals by them pretty much for the whole of my career. I've not had the support or anything of the gay press. And now looking at television, I think it was a master study in the tiniest most subtle performance you could ever give. It was Daniel Day-Lewis standard by what you see now.
Yeah.
And of course, nothing is gay now. It's all queer, which basically means either drag queens or, the pronoun people.
It must be frustrating for you because it feels like it's never the sort of right time for people to critically be happy with what you've done, or the gay community at least.
Well, we've regressed. I mean, the whole point was we were aiming towards equality. This was the lie that Stonewall fed us. Was I remember high kicking with the Tiller Girls and Peter Tatchell and Stephen Fry at the Albert Hall, doing a Stonewall show called The Equality Show. And they used to say, well, what's the outcome you'd love the most? The outcome I'd love the most would be to be called an actor and not openly gay actor. To have that label dropped, to be treated like everyone else, not protected under a sort of, the cloak of, if you're gay, let's tread around you. Treat me exactly the same as everybody else. This is what I was led to believe. How far have we strayed from that now? It's mind-blowing.
Do you think it is a pendulum that sort of goes this way and that?
I'm not sure if it's this way and that. I think it's more secular. I think it's something that's going to go round and reach a top, and we might sort of be there at the moment, but the point is no one's going to back down without a major fight, and I think the fight will get more insane and possibly more dangerous for a while yet, but certainly people are waking up.
Yeah, it's a real clash at the moment about, as I say, it feels like what you and I represent in this, because I think we agree on this. It felt like an individual liberty aspect for me. You can be whoever you want to be. You are an individual. And if you're an actor, you can be the one who plays the overtly camp character, and you can be the one who plays something completely different. Precisely. I suppose we might draw a line at blacking up. And
yes, I mean, obviously, but then again, I think there's a difference. The characters in Little Britain, were very funny, and I have, black friends who also thought it was very funny. I mean, I think there's a difference between, going, blacking up and making a character. After all, Rory Bremner used to do a very famous impression of Trevor McDonald, which was respectful, and it wasn't. It wasn't to humiliate or anything. He was imitating him. I asked the question the other day. Isn't it interesting how we no longer see impressionists on the television? And they used to be a staple. I mean, regularly you'd have impressionists coming up, and they've seemed to have vanished alongside shows like Spitting Image, which would now be seen as one of the most unkind programs ever, because but this is where we are. You can't really say much. You can say it like Ricky Gervais says you can say it, but expect a lot of trash to come along with it.
Well, he's covered because he's so famous and successful that he can do his own thing. He can just go, fuck you guys, I'm going to make my own show. That's what I'm trying to build with this YouTube. But the vast majority of people can't do that. And the vast majority of people are not famous actors such as yourself, are they? They're just people I've had so many messages from people who said, someone got in touch with me to try and, because I'm Jewish, they've asked, they'd use what's called the Y word at work, which is Yid, about the football Tottenham manager, because they use that word sometimes. And this woman had used it like, come on, the Yids or something, and she got fired. And she messaged me going, can you help me? And I said, I don't know what I can do, really.
No, I know.
But this is just an ordinary person who's not Ricky Gervais.
I see your point completely, and I get the similar messages, but with other other pleas from people.
Well, what kinds of things do people say to you that's happened to them?
Well, having a look to go along with, let's just take an example, having to go along with preferred pronouns in emails, and what you do when you receive one of those, because it's nothing more than a test. It's a purity test, because if you ignore it, you're going to get people saying, he ignored that, and I put them specifically in that email, and he did not respond, use it, or you play along with it. Once you play along with it, it's essentially a gateway to more madness and to more. I mean, I read an email the other day that was directed at someone saying, "You will respect my." I want to say authoritaire, but no. But you will respect my sexuality. You will respect my pronouns. You will do this. You will do that. And to quite a well-known person on Twitter who responded, you know something, I'm a very open-minded person, and I do have respect for people, but there becomes a limit. When you start telling me what to do, say, and think, I don't feel I have to go any further, which I thought was an excellent answer. But that's never going to be enough, because it now has precedence over everything else. Now if you say you're non-binary, you're at the top of the stack. You put on if you're a girl, you put on a pair of underpants on the cover of Vanity Fair, going like, you are the worshipped one, and everybody else has to do. And so eventually, I'm hoping that this will be exposed for the trend that it is. It's rather like punk rock and goths back in the day. We did it where we identified with things and people. We didn't identify as them. And that's the main difference, is because it's nothing more than basically fashion. I mean, what is non-binary apart from wearing dungarees and getting a haircut?
I've got big news. Heretics is expanding to Substack. I'll be writing weekly articles about the madness of the woke mind virus, and also giving out little snippets and things I've learned from episodes with new guests that haven't even gone live on YouTube yet. In just 6 months, you grew this community from 0 to 150,000 subscribers. But Heretics is expensive to run. With its camera team, guest booker, production assistant, top-of-the-range 4K cameras, moving sliders, editors, and social media, it costs about £10,000 or $13,000 a month. How can you help? Well, I don't want to rely on ads. You, the viewers, are the economic engine that will drive Heretics to the next level. I'm talking about tours, time to make longer episodes, and bigger guests. This month on Substack, I am writing about the email I received that cancelled me from my own book tour, the 10 signs that gender ideology is a cult, and whether Britain and the US are racist countries. You'll also get the ad-free podcast early and be able to ask questions to my guests, so you'll really be part of the Heretics community. Most of the content is free with perks for paid members. My first article is up now, and it's something I've been holding back and wanting to get off my chest for a long time. So go and sign up on andrewgoldheretics.substack.com. Do you think some of us are maybe naturally contrarian? Maybe half the population is that way and half like to fall in line with a particular fashion that's going on. And I'm just thinking of, I got married recently and everybody started saying, oh, you should have these. And the more they said that, the more I went, not having that. You know, and I think I was at school, it was the same. And I know that you were the same as well. I mean, you must have been at school. And then I get on with people like that as well.
Yes,
and then some people fall in line.
No, I mean, I've always been like that. You tell me to sit down, I'll stand up.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I won't be pushed around. I just won't be. And I've been like that since I was a kid, apparently, according to my mother, who still tells me.
We told you to come in tomorrow and you came in yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I just like you, I have it in me. But I do know a lot of people that just want a quiet life and, you know, which is fine, absolutely fine. But until the point where you look around and you go, is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing? Because what I'm seeing now is barking. I mean, let's just talk briefly about Sadiq Khan's campaign to put a woman who's cut her breasts off and got marks here up whilst taking down pictures of girls who are beach body ready. Now, mate, what are you doing? What message are you sending? The message on Mermaid's website saying the scars that you have here and here are as beautiful as the scars you have that you've marked up your arms. I mean, that's on their website. So we're now saying to primarily girls, you know, celebrate it. Cut yourself and celebrate it. I mean, really? I mean, have we lost it that far? And because we're all tied together, it wouldn't be so much of a problem if the LGBTQ plus hadn't lassoed us all together. That's why so many gay people are saying, look, we've got nothing against the transsexuals. I think they had their cause hijacked. I said it's the TRAs and the Q plus that are the problem, because essentially there's nothing in common anymore. I mean, there never was in the first place. Same-sex attracted, a million other problems. Not better, not worse, just different. And so when you see behavior like that being celebrated, it ties on to us and it affects us all. And when the backlash happens, and the backlash is happening now, if you look in America, and you because they're ahead of us, there's massive backlash going on there. We're all getting, and I get messages saying, you better divorce yourself quickly. I said, I've been trying to do that for 10 years. I said, you know, this is what we're trying to do. You know, don't think that gay people are, you know, just always want to walk down the street, start naked and do this in front of children. It's not what used to happen at Pride. So we're all being lassoed. It's like they want us all on the same dinghy and then they want to plunge a fork into the side and take us all down. And no, not on my watch.
Which is, it's really sad actually, because you've been documented speaking out against this for a long time. A lot of people who are gay have been. Andrew Doyle is another example.
Yep.
So many people don't want this. I imagine Stephen Fry, I mean, he's a little bit careful because he's got a lot of mainstream obligations, I think, but he doesn't like a lot of the woke stuff, does he?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoken. I would imagine not.